Welcome to my second video. This is photographing and drone flying the North Coast 500. This is the second part. Hope you enjoyed the first video. It was a wee bit windy, so I wasn't able to record some video footage of me on this beach. However, I stayed the night in Durness. I went to Sango Sands Beach, which was right next to the campsite. Had an absolutely fantastic sunrise. This first image, I used the little detail of the rock in the foreground, the like seaweed, which I liked there, and you can just see the sun breaking the horizon there. On the second image, it's very similar to the first, just a different composition. This time I used less of the foreground detail and more of the water, and the little rock in the water and the cliffs on the right hand side I think complement the empty space on the left hand side, with the sun just again breaking the horizon. It really was a special morning. The third image is just a square crop of the second image. I just got rid of some of the negative space on the left hand side there. I used a little bit more of foreground detail there. I like the wet sand there and how it was reflecting the sky. I thought that was really nice. Again, I've kept the cliffs in to the right hand side. I really enjoyed them in the image, and I think they work really well. For the fourth image, I just decided to go straight for the sun rising just above the horizon there. There was a bit of a haze, which obviously allowed me to take a photograph of the sun. It's usually quite difficult to do this due to obviously how dangerous it is in your eyes. So there's a bit of haze, which allowed me to take a photograph of this sun rising above the horizon. I like this one just because it's sitting there like a big beach ball on top of the water. After my time spent on the beach, I decided to go back up towards the campsite. There was a little viewpoint there with this nice little walkway. It had been built and the fence giving a leading line into the image towards the viewpoint itself. I decided to go a portrait version here. It's always nice to look for the portrait options rather than just shooting landscape all the time. So I think this works really well. So I did also shoot this in a landscape version. For me, I think it works slightly better in the landscape format. I do like the way that I've included the beach either side of the headland. And I also had a fellow camper who got up nice and early in the morning. I did ask him if he would be a model and stand at the viewpoint there, which he agreed to do, so I'm very grateful to him. I made sure I got high enough so the fences and the viewpoint were below the horizon line. I thought that was quite important to get that in the shot. And I do like this overall sense of scale of a lovely beach on an early sunrise morning. Morning. I hope you can hear me okay. It's really windy today. I've just been at Durness, stayed the night there. Some nice shots last night. I went over to Tongue, got a nice photograph there of Ben Loyal with a little cemetery in front of it, lit up really nice. I'm now going to head down the coast a little bit. As I say, I stayed at Durness last night, got some fantastic sunrise this morning. I've just stopped here, just a couple of miles outside Durness. Managed to take a nice photograph down the estuary there. I must apologise for the wind noise. It was like that most of the day, so unfortunately did limit how much videos I could record. This is a shot I took down Durness estuary. I saw the little house there on the headland. There was a bit of movement in the clouds, and I was hoping that the sun would poke through at some point. So I like the little road leading down the headland there towards the cottage itself, and also the sand there. I did wait a little while in the wind, just hoping that the clouds would pass and we get a nice bit of light to illuminate the sand. I was blessed that it did illuminate the sand, but also the foreground house and the grass surrounding it, and left the hill in shadow, and obviously the cloud there, which for me is a nice image, really typifying Scotland. The little red roofed cottage in Shield Egg has a stunning view across the loch towards Torridon. I just can't drive past this place. Every time I drive along that road I have to stop. Seeing it's a wee bit more overgrown, I usually come down here in the winter time, but obviously the ferns are quite prominent in the foreground there. In winter time that little wall leading line is more dominant than the ferns. However, it's still a stunning location and one, as I say, I just can't drive past without taking a photo. Further along the road and towards Applecross, I found this little cottage down by the shoreline. I love the Scots pine in it, my favourite tree, and I wanted to just get a little slight angle on this one so you could see the full of the Scots pine rather than it peering out the roof, which you can do if you go more front on with this building. I did see a little yacht coming along the water, and I waited my time to get it positioned just where I want it, and I'm really happy with this image of this lovely little derelict cottage. Well, here it is, the end of day 3. I'm in Plockton. I started off today up in Durness. If you remember my video earlier on, it was very windy. It's been windy all day. I've not been able to fly my drone, not been able to get any additional video footage. Now arrived at Plockton, getting sheltered off a harbour wall here, just down by the beach. I thought I'd give you a quick update of where I've been today. I started off up at Durness, moved down to Ullapool, taking some photographs of the Assynt area. Followed the North Coast 500 all the way down here to Plockton. On the way down I stopped at Ullapool, Applecross, Shield Egg, Torridon. So a few stops down the way and a few images taken, but the weather really has been really terrible. I wanted to use my drone over the Alpine Pass between Applecross and Loch Carron, but unfortunately I couldn't use it because it was just so windy. I could hardly stand up to take a photo on my phone, but I'm now here. I've got some good photos. I've got a good place in mind for an after sunset shot. Hopefully it's not too far away from here, so I'm going to go and get myself a bite to eat, maybe a chippy or something like that, a fish supper, and then head along there and wait an hour or two until sunset. Done a lot of driving today, 6 hours. A good few 100 miles, so after that I'll probably find a campsite for the night and get my head down. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Well, the final destination for my trip was Islandonnan Castle. It is somewhere I know that you can get great shots, even if the weather's not great and it's quite windy. I hope you enjoyed the drone footage of it there. As you can see, I waited till it got slightly darker before I took the images. For me, I think that's when the castle looks its best. All lit up there, as you can see in this image, this portrait version, using the drawbridge, the bridge as a lead-in line to the castle, which is illuminated in the background. I then decided to go for a more square option with this one, cropped in a little. Still using the bridge as a lead-in line, however I like the little pool with the reflection of the castle lit up in it. I wish there was more water in there, but there wasn't, and sometimes you've just got to take the conditions as you find them. However, the castle was illuminated. Absolutely beautiful place at night, and for me that first hour or so just after the sun sets and the castle lights come on is when it actually can be seen in its full glory. I do like this shot. I think it works really well as a square version. My final image is of the castle from just off the car park, using the water in the foreground to show the reflection of the castle. Again, the tide was quite low, so I only had a little bit of reflection there. And I was very grateful to the car owners who further down had their lights illuminated and illuminated the 3 archways as the bridge leading over to the castle. Usually that's not lit up at night, so it's quite dark and you can't really see it. You'll probably see that in the drone footage coming up. However, at that point, when it was lit up with the car lights, it looked really smart. So I'll leave you with some drone footage from the castle, and I hope you have enjoyed the video.